Hello everybody, it's Bourbon Bill, and tonight, a very special episode. We're diving into what could possibly be my bourbon of the year for 2023. None other than Russell's Reserve 13 Batch 5. That's right, Batch 5, the latest and greatest. Finally got my hands on one. Thank you to those that helped. You know who you are. The effort it required to get this bottle, it just increases every year. And, I guess that's the hype, how good it is generally, things like that. But it does get annoying that, A, the price continues to go up every year, and so does the, effort required to obtain one. Also seems to go up every year. Now, I'm pretty excited for this bottle for a number of reasons. In 2021, it won my Bourbon of the Year. Bourbon Bill's Bourbon of the Year in 2021 was Russell's Reserve 13 Batch 1, which I do have back there, and will probably compare for you tonight if you stick around. And then last year, 2022, Batch 3, which is also back there, was kind of my runner-up winner, but I did get a Heaven Hill 17 last year, so that it lost to that. But beyond that, it was number one again. So here we are in 2023, and I said, well, I gotta get one because it's basically won the past 2 years, right? So in 2023, they released Batch 4 and Batch 5. Batch 5 is the latest. It was bottled in May of 2023, and it is code LLLE. And, I'll be helpful to you. I'll put up a little chart somewhere over here about, exactly what codes correspond to which batches. Now, I've had 1, 3, and now 5. So I did not have 2 or 4. So I can't really comment on those. But the general consensus, without having tried 5, and there's really no other reviews of 5 that I know of. So this will be the first one for 5. The general consensus is 1's still the best. 2 and 4 are probably neck and neck there, and then 3, and then, really 5's an unknown. So we don't know where 5's going to fall in that. But again, I haven't tried 2 or 4, so take that with a grain of salt. My personal opinion is 1 and then 3, so we'll see where 5 falls tonight. Now, in case you were wondering, let's talk about pricing on these bad boys. So, 2021 MSRP was $70. 2022 MSRP was $100. Now, here we are in 2023. MSRP is $150. I mean, what is going on, Campari / Wild Turkey? You greedy sons of bees. I mean, come on, more than double what it was 2 years ago. I know whiskey's gone up, but most things are not more than double what they were when they were released. Would I pay $150 for those bottles back there? Absolutely. Would I like doing it? No. No, I would not. But in general, I think there has been an increased pricing trend on some of the Wild Turkey products. I'm seeing like single barrel store picks at the Total Wines go for like $90, $96. And you're like, get the hell out of here. You can pay $96 for a Total Wine store pick Russell single barrel? Get out of here. No. They should be like $60. Rare Breed's still under 50 in PA. These still come in at the same 114.8 proof. Compute, 57.4% alcohol by volume. That's still barrel proof, and these are still non-chill filtered with the big old 13-year age statement. Now we know that previous batches, 1 and 3, have contained older bourbons, up to 19-year-old stuff, I believe, or even maybe some 20-year-old stuff in those blends. Have not seen anything on what Batch 5 might contain. Now, to get started, we'll get ourselves in a little turkey mood with a quick shot of Rare Breed. That's good. If you're not drinking Rare Breed, you're an idiot. That's all I can say about it. I can't even sugarcoat that one for you. Got my non-sponsored Fiji water as well tonight from Costco. If you're looking for Fiji water at a deal, check your local Costco. Color on this, you know, it's not dark, but it surely is not light. So it's a nice color. It's like a amber, dark amber, perhaps. Let's give it a nosing. Oh, 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 oh. Gosh, what a nose. This is all like stone fruits, cherries. The predominant note is like juicy fruit gum, strawberries, stone fruits, and cherries, dark cherries. Maybe a little bit of cocoa in there, and then just a boatload of oak and like tobacco and leather. Man, it's all there on the nose. Gosh, what a 10 out of 10 on the nose. A++ on the nose. Does it smell like 150 doll hairs? Yeah. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. All right. What you've all been waiting for, let's take a sip of batch number 5. Oh, heaven help me, that's going to win this year, I bet. Oh my gosh, is that good. Wow. Just what we said. Ton of that like dark cherries, fruits up front, followed by a long finish. It just lingers with a lot of leather and oak in there and tobacco. It's a sweet oak. It's not a drying oak. But I would say if you're not a fan of oak, if you haven't liked these previously, don't buy this one. Okay, that's what I'm saying. This is not going to change. It's not drastically different than the other releases. So, second sip. A++ rating from Bourbon Bill. Absolute buy. At MSRP, it's an absolute buy. Do I like the new MSRP? No. If you're a fan of quality high-aged bourbons, this is for you. If you're a fan of older profile bourbons, this is for you. If you're a fan of young bourbons and cheap craft whiskey, this is not for you. It's that simple. Save it for those that really appreciate good stuff. All right, now a comment that I've heard a lot of people usher. Oh, why would I buy a Russell's Reserve 13 when I have this delicious store pick here that is just as good for less money? Let's find out. I've never actually had a good store pick of Russell's on this channel because I refuse to pay the $90-some the Total Wine charges. I've had a shelf single barrel that I thought Rare Breed was better than that, so I didn't really buy another one. And I haven't found a good store pick from a good reputable store, honestly, for the Russells, to say the least. But my buddy Lamb has provided a sample of such a good single barrel. So thank you, Lamb. So just a few specs for you out there. This is a Camp Nelson B single barrel Russell's Reserve store pick. Obviously 110 proof like they all are. This is a 10-year-old, so better than the 9 or even 8 I've been seeing at some places. And this was a short barrel, only yielding 96 bottles. So he snagged one, and we'll just see how that compares. Put that in the mini here. So the fruits are there, right? I mean, there's like the stone fruits. A lot of caramel in this one. But it's kind of missing the darker-esque note. Like, there's really no oak, no leather on the nose. Not nearly as much. I mean, there's some there, I guess, but not nearly as much. Just different animals.
This is the best animal right here.
What do you? Oh, you're. Rita's talking about her Sagamore. What is that one? The
Rye-garita.
The Rye-garitas. So we don't do a lot of cocktails on this channel, but if you like a canned cocktail, the Sagamore Rye-garita is the place to be. All right, so back to this one, the store pick here. Are you okay over there? She can't even sit on a couch right.
Did you see what I did?
Yes, I see what you did. All right, so this is very good on the palate. If this is 60, 70 bucks, absolute buy. It's a steal for that price. A lot of fruit up front. Comes off darker than it smells on the palate. but like kind of a short, super short finish, and really is missing a lot of the oak and leather and tobacco notes. I mean, there's some there, not nearly as much as that 13. So that's a really good short barrel single barrel, and I gotta say, it does not live up to the Russell's Reserve 13. All right, we're all poured up here. So obviously in the clear was batch 5 that we just reviewed, received an A+ rating. A++ really, from Bourbon Bill. All right, how does that compare to batch 3 in the blue? Let's give batch 3 a nosing. Ooh. So batch 3 dials back the fruit note a little bit and adds just more dusty oak. And batch 3, I believe, of that we know of, was probably the oldest blend with more 19-year-old mixed in. Let's take a sip. Wow, man, batch 3 is delicious. Definitely plays heavy on the oak. Heavy on the oak. It's predominantly oak and caramel and almost has like a marshmallow note to it. Definitely feels older in the blend, but it kind of loses out on most of the fruit notes. Alright, and then the vaunted, the OG, if you will, in the gold Champions Glen, batch number 1. So far, by general consensus, yet to be dethroned. Let's give it a nosing. Oh, this could be closer to batch 5. A lot of fruit up front. This is really smelling like that red fruit, that stone fruit. It's got the oak in the background too. This is very similar to what I was describing for batch 5. Let's take a sip. Good Lord, that's delicious. Good Lord. That's a monster. Perfect integration of the fruit and the oak like we talked about. It's got both. That's why it beat number 3. Long finish, still going as I'm talking here. It's going to be down between 5 and number 1. They are neck and neck. They're really close. I think one's still a tad better. Now, one's had a lot of air from 2021. That bottle's about half empty, so a lot of air in that. 5 here is a fresh crack. I think if 5 improves a little bit, they'd be dead even. I think tonight, 1 is still going to remain the winner. It just has a better integration of the oak and the fruit, and just the oak is just beautiful. Just carries through. 5 has the fruit and the oak, but the integration and switch between those two is not quite as good as number 1 tonight. But again, that's a fresh crack. So believe me, number 5 is a hitter. So if you can get your hands on number 5, definitely snatch it up. My order is going to be number 1, number 5, and number 3. So if you like what you saw tonight, please like, comment, and most importantly, hit that subscribe button. Thanks, everyone. Have a good evening.